Here we have at Creators Farm our first nursery plant stock. So come out, check it out. We're going to go through some of these plants, and most of these are sun-loving plants. The ones near the fish house are shade, but you can come out, see what we have, and then you can also go tour our gardens and see what they will look like in your yards. So we're going to go through each plant, and we're going to start with this first one, which is Texas sage. It is not a sage, but it's a great plant. It changes, the flowers will appear based on humidity, and it's excellent. Everyone loves that plant. Next one we have is the Hawaiian sunset vine. That's $8 for the 1 gallon pot. And it turns into a very lush vine covered trellis. This is African iris. We have the white ones, and that spreads pretty quickly. It's a beautiful flower. Next, this is the bush alamanda dwarf, so it doesn't get near as big as the other one. Makes yellow flowers, very lovely, tropical. And then we have, this is the firebush dwarf. So some of them will get huge. This one will stay pretty small, manageable. Next one is this pink muley grass, which produces a pink fluffy flower when it blooms. Great plant, soft grass. A lovely, lovely, beautiful hibiscus that is also called Fiesta. And then there's night blooming jasmine, which is very scented at night, and it forms a bush pretty quickly. Loves sun. This is a croton, and this is the one with the skinny leaves. It's Mammy. Come check it out. This is the Ixora dwarf, and I think these are the red ones. So they stay pretty small. The other Ixoras can become a huge wedge or hedge. This is the copperleaf plant, and that can be really big, and it's a pretty fast grower. It's a beautiful accent plant. Next we have another croton, magnificent, or croton. Again, pretty slow grower. It's a variety of colors in this plant. And then we have the Kunti palm, which attracts the Atala butterflies, which have been pretty rare. So expand your butterflies. 2 roses that you can grow in Florida, the knockout roses, and then we have next to it is the drift rose. The knockout roses will produce a bigger flower. The drift rose will stay slightly smaller. Sea grapes are another popular plant that a lot of people know. It can produce some edible grapes. Some do, some don't. And it's a great wind barrier. So if you need a wind barrier around your property, it's good. Areca palms is this big one. This is a bigger plant, and I love it. It produces hedges. You can make walls in your yards. And if you put it in more sun, it's going to get more chartreuse colored. Then we have 2 oleanders. We have the dwarf one, which is definitely more manageable than the other one, which most people know gets pretty large. Makes beautiful flowers throughout the year. Then we have thryallis, which is a great pollinator, produces these yellow flowers and gets pretty big. Another hibiscus we carry is the painted lady, pretty pink flowers. This is your bush alamanda, and it's a kind of sprawling bush, makes those pretty yellow flowers. And then at the end of the row here we have the giant apostle, also called Iris regina. This makes a lovely purple flower, and it clumps and it reproduces pretty quickly. All right, this is a Strohmann's plant. This loves the shade. And as you can see, it was plant of the year for the Florida Nursery Growers Landscape Association. It's got the lovely pink and red. It's a good Christmas plant. Then we have a selection of philodendrons. That's a Xanadu. That is definitely a shade, and it mounds, and it's slow growing. This is the Coelum. This can grow in the sun. It's kind of like part sun, part shade, and it gets huge. You can keep it smaller if you do more shade. And then our other plant here is the Monstera plant, also known as the Swiss cheese plant or the split leaf philodendron. That's an awesome plant, very, very tropical, and it grows in the shade. Special through January, come out and try some of our nursery plants, and you'll get 20% off all plants through January.